Hey everyone, and welcome to another installment of Tom's World. In today's video, it's just going to be a quick update of things here in the garden. We installed something new that will help in our never-ending battle against the deer, so you got to check this out. So I know it's kind of hard to see from back here, but we have installed a deer fencing around the cold frame raised bed garden, whatever you want to call it, and it has been doing its job. It has been keeping the deer out, and you can see already how much happier the plants are. Starting over here, you can see the nasturtiums are perking up again. The bee bombs are, well, they were never really bothered that much. The black-eyed Susans are expanding like crazy. I mean, look at that. All those flowers on there, that is beautiful. And now they won't be touched at all by any deer as long as we keep this netting around here. The coneflower down there, well, that was the one that was always doing worse than the other ones, but it's looking good. Things are going to start coming back. The only things we have to worry about now are bugs, but they're not too much of a problem. We have the other coneflower here. That's looking well. So sometime during this week, once I'm confident that the deer are going to be staying out of this completely, I'm going to go in and I'm going to remove all these cages so that they can all just bush out any way they want to. Because, I mean, obviously the black-eyed Susans want to bush out. So it's going to be a little tough. I'm going to have to be real delicate taking the cages off. But we'll definitely get them out of there so that this thing looks a lot better, less intrusive. We had to put the cages around because of the deer, but it just wasn't doing its job properly. Even the phlox back there, it's starting to come back. Last week that had no flowers on it, so just over the course of the last 3-4 days they started growing back. The cardinal flower here, as you can see, is actually starting to bloom flowers. This has been a long time coming. One of the other volunteers planted this. This was the very first plant in the garden last year, probably just about a year ago, maybe a little bit less by a couple weeks. And it was only like an inch tall through all the winter. And now look at this thing. It grew up a lot, and now it's finally going to be flowering, and the deer will not be able to touch it. And I love this. I love this netting. More cages around the coneflower there. Again, once the cage is off and we know that the deer can't get in here, things will be a lot better. Another black-eyed Susan there. We have a phlox down here, which was eaten not that long ago, and it's got some buds growing on it, so won't take long. So another coneflower there, black-eyed Susan. We have another phlox down here in this, but we won't need that anymore. The columbine, still doing great. I haven't seen much signs of those little leaf miners anymore, so I can relax a little bit with that. I am going to have to fix this deer netting, though. It's kind of drooping a little bit. The other bee balm there, and the milkweed, nasturtiums, and whatever the heck that was. I always forget. We didn't plant it, so like I don't remember the name of it. But it's all doing great. So just a real quick update on the rest of the garden. The phlox that I planted here is still doing well. It's never going to get any taller than that because the deer keep sticking their head in the top of this cage that I put up around it. We may have to move that into the raised bed behind the deer netting over there. But other than that, other than not being able to get any taller, the flowers still look good on there. They're still blooming. And all the hostas everywhere are doing well. I'll show you the big centerpiece of hostas. So here's the big group of hostas in the middle. You can see that the flowers have all started to droop over, and they all have these little pods on them, which I did take one off and open it up, and it looks like seeds in there, so they're going to be dropping more seeds. So this is going to get even thicker with hostas as time's going on. Again, I don't think that they flowered at all last year, much less produced little seed pods, but this year they are. They're a lot happier since we were in here working on it and removed all those weeds. The columbines, they seem to be doing better. The little guy over here, he's looked worse, he's looked better, but he'll come back. And again, with all these, we can always dig them up and put them in the raised bed garden, but we don't want to get that too crowded because things in there are going to bush out. But this one's looking really good. The Hosta there, the other one over there, looking really good. And again, no real signs of those leaf miners, so that's a good thing. Maybe that's just seasonal, I don't know. The ferns are all flourishing, which I knew they would, but figured I'd let you see anyway. Ferns on the other side are doing good too. The chessboard is looking good. The video I did where I talked about the garden after the torrential downpours that we had, there were some areas of the grass that weren't looking all that great. Like even in this one, you can see it's a little thin. It's got some dead stuff on the bottom. I did go out and get more seed, like grass seed, and I put it in every square that really needed it, and then a bunch of other squares. And I can tell the difference. It probably won't come through on the camera, so I won't bother showing you, but I can tell the difference between the grass that grew from that seed and this grass. But most of those seeds, yeah, they got washed away that night, because right after I laid the seed, we got a lot of rain, and so I'm assuming it washed a lot of that away. But you know, it doesn't look too bad. You know, this grass is resilient. It lasted the winter and everything, and it took root, and everything's great. So I have confidence that it'll come back. But all in all, right now, it's looking better, we'll say. It's improving, and I love seeing this. I just love this chessboard. Well, the whole garden too, but just weird to think back to last year at this time. All of this was just under dirt and weeds and all kinds of stuff, and the other volunteers and I, we worked hard, we sweat hard, and we dug all this up. It just amazes me to this day. One thing I will say though, when you come here, especially if it just rained, be very careful on the bricks. For some reason, the bricks get a little slippery in some parts, especially over that side. I don't know what it is. Even when it hasn't rained, the bricks are slippery there, so I don't understand that myself. But just, you know, just keep that in mind when you're here and you have your kids here. If you see them running around, you know, try to discourage them from running around on the bricks, because they might slip. And last but not least, we'll go see if my friend's out. Right before I started this video, I checked. He wasn't there, but maybe he is. I did see the toad. He lives under one of the rocks, and he barely shows himself now. I don't know what happened that he got all shy. Yep, he's not out. He's either under the water or roaming around somewhere in the garden. He's been seen in different parts of the garden here and there. He likes to go for walks, I guess, but the toad is there. I did see him. He went back under this big rock. That's pretty much where he lives. Whenever he sees somebody coming, he just ducks under it. So, yeah, oh well. So that's going to wrap this one up. Like I said, it was just going to be a short update on the goings on in the garden here. I'm really happy with this deer fence. It's doing its job, and it's keeping all those deer out of here. So if this is your first time here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and when you do, click that notification bell and click all. That way you'll be sure to know when I upload new videos. Also remember to give this video a big thumbs up, and I guess I am going to be out of here. So also don't forget to check out the Sarobia fundraiser. The link can be found in the description of this video, in the description of pretty much all my videos. And check it out. It's got some information there about this property, and it will allow you to share out the link. If you cannot give and you just want to spread the word, please do that. In any case, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.